Hi, this is Becky Shulo, and welcome to the Art is an Advantage weekly video series. So, for the past several weeks, if you've been following along, you know we've been working through my 7-step guide to a niche art marketing strategy. And this week, we've been in step 1 for several weeks, which is to find or identify your audience. And now we're moving on to step 2. So in step 1, we were talking about doing some preliminary research as it relates to ideas that we might have around a niche or an audience. And now in step 2, we're going to turn this research into an integral part of our marketing activity. And we're going to actually build a strategy around it. So we want to make this research a regular part of what we're doing because it's not a one and done activity. Once you identify your niche or your audience, you're going to want to continually learn about them and search for potential opportunities to grow it. So in this video, we're going to do an overview of step 2 and talk about the basic components of actually setting up a system for your research. And then over the next week or two after this, we're going to get into some details about this system. Now, this photo here looks pretty disorganized, right? And we don't want you to do that. What I want you to have is I want you to have an organized system that makes it very easy to incorporate this into your day-to-day or week-to-week activities. So here is an overview, or here are the things that we're going to want to have within this system. The first thing we want to have is a clear understanding of what our goals are for our research. So basically, we want to have an idea or a list of what is it that we want to learn. So you could want to learn generally, of course, about a particular niche. And I've been using the bluegrass music industry as an example in some of my prior videos and a project that I have worked on. But you also are going to want to learn some specific things about your audience. So some of those specific things could be what event opportunities are out there for you to get your work in front of them. Or are there opportunities for commission work? There could be all different things. Are there opportunities for collaboration? And you want to keep a list of these questions and things that you want to learn. Keep that somewhere for yourself so that you can reference it. So that's the first part of setting up your research system. Then the second thing that you need to have is a document or a spreadsheet where you can capture the information that you learn as you research. Now, I do recommend something electronic, and I do find that spreadsheets are best for organization. So something like Google Sheets or Excel. And in one of the upcoming videos, probably next week, I'm going to show you my specific template, and that is going to be a spreadsheet-based template. And I'll show you how I capture information and then how I use it moving forward. Okay, so that's part 2. Then we need to have a source checklist. So, of course, we could take our list of questions and plug those into Google or any search engine and come up with answers that we want to find. But what we really want to develop is a list of resources. Mostly, I think you're going to find them online, but there might be some places that are not online, maybe print materials or whatnot. But you want to make a list of these places that you want to check on a regular basis for information. So in another video, I'm going to talk about a specific way that I do that to keep it that's manageable so that you have your list and you can just routinely check it and kind of filter through the information and use what you learn. And so to start, I would say start just making your list of places that could be resources for you. So this could be maybe a local media outlet or local magazine or newspaper or an industry website or a group on a social media platform, places that you're going to want to visit time and time again to learn about this audience. Okay. And then the last thing that we have to have as part of our system is to have it on our schedule. So if you watched my earlier video where I talked about this research step when we were coming up with our initial audience ideas, I mentioned that research can be somewhat of a rabbit hole where you start to go down and you look up and you've just spent 2 hours on your computer learning all kinds of interesting things. And so I know your time is valuable and we want to avoid that. So, what we want to do is have regular routine times in your schedule where you set time parameters around doing this research. And so, maybe it's a half an hour every week. Whatever that is, I want you to start putting it on your schedule and make it be a defined time that you're going to devote to this particular activity. So, having these things in place, these four things, having your outline or list of what is it that you want to learn, having a place to document what you learn, having a list of sources that you can use for research so that you can quickly access them when you need them and during that preset time. And then, of course, using your calendar to make sure that you are doing this on an ongoing basis. So, that's kind of, or that is the foundation for a system that you can start to use and use over time to continually be using this to build strategies for marketing and selling your work. So that's it for today. And as always, I'm going to put resources in the notes below, and I will see you next week.